Hello, I am Peaches and your host of On Location TV. She is the niece of civil rights leader James Meredith, but stands on her own with the same determination, faith, and motivation as her uncle. She is the owner of Typing Solutions Resumes, and we're going to take a break and come back and find out more information about Meredith. We're back and you're watching On Location TV with my guest today, Meredith McGee. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I appreciate you being so patient. I got to get this little speech out of the way first.
Okay.
Because we had scheduled a time for you to come, and then, of course, when you're doing a TV show, you just never really know what's going to happen. You run into problems that you didn't foresee when you scheduled the appointment, and today was one of those days. So you've been very patient. I appreciate you being patient and just kind of waiting for your turn.
And I appreciate you.
Well, we're going to jump right into some information about Meredith and about the reason that I asked you to come.
Okay.
Of course, I said in the opening that you were the niece of a very important person that we wanted to let the public know about, especially our young people, because I think our generation and older know who James Meredith is. And if we don't continue to talk about him and what sacrifices he made, then it's kind of like all his work was in vain, and we don't want that to happen.
Right.
But I'm going to kind of hopefully be doing a little series on the Meredith family, and I wanted to start with you because we met probably about 8 months ago and just kind of been not really communicating, but we knew that we, existed out there. So, like I said, we're going to try to do a whole little family thing, and hopefully to be able to talk to your mother, talk to the wife of James Meredith, even hopefully get a little interview from him if possible. But if not, we're going to talk about him with each family member. But first, I wanted to find out some information about who is Meredith McGee.
Well, Meredith McGee, of course, as you said, I'm the niece of James Meredith, who integrated Ole Miss in 1962. I'm a business proprietor. I operate a typing, resume, writing service. I do printing. I am also an author. My first book should be published next month or in November. I wrote it with a friend. It's a memoir about her life, Darlene Collier. And I also am in the process of publishing my first book on my uncle, the title James Meredith, Warrior, and the America that created him.
Right, right.
And I'm a wife and a mother.
Okay.
Yes. And I also take care of my father, a caregiver.
Right. So you have a lot on your plate.
Yes.
So you have to manage all of that. That's a whole lot said that you do, plus the business, which when sometimes when we have a famous person in our midst, a family, when people look on the outside looking in, they kind of, might say that that person that's in that family, she's just the niece of him. But I said in the opening that you stand on your own. You stand in a legacy that you can't change, that you should be so proud of, that he made some great accomplishments. And I feel like I would not be in this place where I am right now if I don't say that I stand on his shoulders as well as many other people that and I just wanted to give honor to him and his legacy that he's left behind, and he has grandchildren. We're going to talk about all of that, but like I said, I wanted to focus in a little bit more on you and the reason why, one of the reasons why that I invited you to come on the show. Now, you're the owner and manager of Typing Solution Resumes and etc.
Yes.
Now, tell us what that is and what are your services.
Well, in short order, it's the typing, resume writing, printing, and small business consultant service. Basically, I do a lot of desktop publishing, business cards, and I'm also a professional writer. I write proposals, business and marketing plans. I specialize in business plans for startup businesses in particular. And I also laminate products.
I think I have something right beside me here.
Right. One of my friends and clients, she had this is a historic map. She's is in the process of having that copyrighted, and she's selling it.
Oh, okay.
It teaches, you see, slavery, the Confederacy, and free slaves.
Right. So you also do
laminate. It's a placemat that you put on the table.
Right.
Yes.
Now I went to your website and I saw a whole lot. I know you kind of said what you do, but there was so much more, I guess, of a breakdown of a little bit more that we want to talk about to let people know just kind of every little spot. We probably can't talk about it all, but we're going to get as much as we can in. And I know that you said when you said writing resumes, so if a person comes to you with the idea of, and lots of people have that idea of a resume, but they really don't know what to put on a resume. So you would be able to work with that person, or does it need to come to you in the format, so to speak?
I write resumes from scratch. Basically, I interview the person and try to determine what their strengths are so that their resume can be sold to an employer. Their skills could be sold to an employer.
So you kind of do a consultation with
absolutely
with the individual to get the meat of what needs to go on that resume.
Yes, and also I have what you call an e-resume where you can fill it out online, and then we could interview over the phone or through
that's
email.
What e-clients.
Yes.
I was going to ask you what was e-clients. I was like, okay, I'm going to have to figure that one out.
Yes, the clients that I have that I don't meet that are come through the internet.
Oh, okay. So there's no reason why that a person, if they can't physically sit down with you, they can talk with you, and that's enough for you to be able to draft that information into a resume format.
Right.
And I asked this question because I'm, in a professional field as lots of people, and I see resumes come in all the time. Some that are just on point, and some that when they look at that resume, it's kind of like a first appearance, that impression that you get. So that's one of the reasons why I think it's so important that you have it's kind of like introducing yourself to an employer. Yes. Without visually seeing you to see if they want to talk to you.
Right.
So that's one of the points that you would say that people should use your services or to research about doing resumes correctly.
Well, the cover letter is actually the first thing that the employer sees. So if a person wants to really impress an employer, they really need a strong cover letter, and of course they need a good resume. But the average person that writes their own cover letter and resume, they use a computer template, but anybody can use a template, but it takes good writing skills to really draft a good cover letter and resume that will stand out in the crowd.
Right.
And that's when you, if a person's resume is not getting them any interviews, then they probably need it done professionally,
right,
so that it will help open some doors for them.
Right, because like I said, lots of times people just really don't know what, you know, they want a job, but they
Right.
don't really know what or how to get that. When there's 10 other resumes on the table, you know, why should I look at that one versus the other 9? Now we're gonna get ready and go on break, and before we start in on some other things, target some other things that your company does.
Okay,
and then
well,
we
thank
won't have
you.
to go on break to interrupt you. So we're gonna take a break, and we'll be right back.
Thanks.
On Location TV, Sundays 8:30 p.m. and Tuesdays 7:30 p.m. on Comcast Cable Channel 18, Paired Network.